Welcome back to It's a Tool Thing. Today with another tool haul video and a little bit of talk about swivel extension sockets. I guess is the terminology. This is a max set here, 12 point. I got rid of the sleeve. It is made in Taiwan, unfortunately. It's set on the sleeve, but it actually does not say it on the sockets. Something I've been noticing about Precision Torque stuff is they'll put it somewhere, but they won't put it on the tool. It's like they're hiding the fact that it's not made in the USA a little bit. Part number is an SXM UEP 102B. 10-piece set. 8 to 17 millimeter complete. 12 point. I was actually trying to bid on a set of standard ones, but I ended up losing the bid on them, unfortunately. But in a way, I'm okay with it. I would have liked to have the 12 points just because it gives you a little bit more variety. But it gives me a chance to check these out. And if these things aren't kissing cousins, these are Steelman Pros, also made in Taiwan. As you can see, it's got more of a chalky finish on it. You just grab out the 16 millimeter and 5/8 here. Do a quick comparison on those. If they weren't made in the same plant, I'd be really surprised. The Mac one is actually just slightly shorter, not even 1/8 of an inch, I would say. But as you can see, the Mac is a 12 point over here, and see if that'll come clear enough for you to see. There you go. And this is a 6 point. Both have a pretty good knurl on them. Both have a lifetime warranty. I ended up paying, I believe it was $270 plus shipping for the Mac set, and less than $100, like $98 shipped. Got them both in just a few days. So I am curious to test these out and see how well they hold up. I've had one or two Steelman Pro things with no issues, but my kit number here, I don't know if you can read that, is on the Steelman Pro is a 99044. They also make this in a set that goes, I believe, 5/16 to 3/4, but then they skip the 11 millimeter or 11/16, excuse me. So I went ahead and got the larger kit. These are both 10-piece kits. So I figured we'd do a little comparison while I got these things out. Let's start off here with 15 millimeter. So this is 15 millimeter 12 point, obviously. And this is a snap-on, which technically is not an impact where the Mac ones are. So are the Steelman Pros. You can see the overall length here. It's roughly 1 inch shorter than the snap-on. Get a few measurements here. So the snap-on, not sure if you can read it on the screen there. The socket end on the 15 millimeter is 0.806, and the ring is 0.981. And this 15 millimeter is actually the straight walled one. Above that they have a taper down, and below that they have a taper down on the socket side. And it measures in at 0.860. So slightly thicker. Let's measure the shaft here while we're at it. So the shaft on this is 0.494. And the shaft on this one is 0.477. So very close. Slightly smaller shaft, even though these are impact rated. See if we can compare the angle here the best we can. Looks like they have roughly the same angle. I'm trying to hold those sockets square with each other. Snap-on might have just a skosh more, but it's hard to say. I know these are 30 degree, and I think the snap-ons are rated for 30 degree also. We'll go down to the 13 millimeter. The thing I got to say about these cases, I don't understand it. This has got the foam tray cut out, and it's going to take up way too much room. And even this, I think, really takes up too much room. I guess it wouldn't be too bad if you lop the ends off and pull the lid off. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to store it in a box at this point. Certainly going to just keep the ones that I use the most handy, and then the other ones will put them somewhere else probably. As you can see, compared to the older units, this is a 13 to 13 comparison here. We've probably got about an inch again shorter. The snap-on being shorter this time. And I believe the shaft is the same length on the 13. I think they're all the same length shaft. We'll measure this shaft. And this shaft is a 0.374. Measure the open end here, which is the widest point, at 0.712. And this one is slightly larger at 0.772. And then actually necks up on this end here to 0.860, which is the same as that other socket's reading. They should all, I believe, be the same there also on the Mac ones. And then if we measure this one at the collar, it's 0.633. And we'll try to do a tip comparison. Try to line those up the best I can. Once again, the tip seems pretty close. I think the snap-on one might edge it out just a little bit. But that's actually going to be the failure point too, which is right here where it contacts. It's a smaller diameter, so you're getting slightly more tip. Also, the snap-on ones are pinned, and these actually are not pinned. Same with the Steelman Pros. They are pinless. And then the whole reason I end up getting into looking at these again, because I considered buying them in the past. Not necessarily these Mac ones. I didn't know they were available until this happened. But as you can see, the failure point obviously is the skinnier part of the shaft. This was done with a ratchet, and you can actually see that it broke right where the drilling was. The edge of the drilling there. But I have a feeling this new Mac one is not going to fit as well as this one. As you can see here, it's significantly shorter. And this one I'm sure had slightly more tip also. Go ahead and get a measurement on this while we're at it. Compare these. So the socket end on this is 0.592, and again the ring is 0.642, and the actual socket height 0.868. So it is slightly thicker here, 0.625. And definitely thicker here at 0.784. And this height, over an inch, unfortunately, at 1.102, which is going to be the real killer. The angle and the overall height is going to make this tool significantly less useful than this tool. And this one still didn't have enough on some of them. You had to go to hand tool. But in comparison to using this, which this is a 10 millimeter socket here, and you can see the actual barrel. I'm not going to measure this, but the actual barrel on this one is smaller. Looks like the actual socket side is about the same, but these do have more tip than the wobbly. These are a Sun X. See if I can hold this the best I can. I guess it's better off back here, but there's definitely quite a bit more tip. It's hard to hold these, but I believe, like I said, these are 30 degree. I think these might only be like 20 or 15. Though I do like these Sun X ones, and this wobble is pretty awesome for getting into places. This definitely has more wobble. I'm hoping that'll make the difference. Let me grab one more tool real quick. This is actually a new purchase. I don't remember if I did a video on it. I already had one of these, but I picked up a second one for the shop truck. Grab a quick extension too. To be honest, this is probably the way it should be done most of the time, and what they should make. Having an issue finding a quarter drive extension, oddly enough. Here we go. Oh, that's right. I know where they're at. They're somewhere else. So ultimately, this actually works. This is a 10 millimeter quarter drive universal. It's definitely not as smooth, but talk about angle and size. I mean, even this one dwarfs this unit here. It does have slightly more length, but the actual tip portion is shorter. Not sure if you can see that very well. It's hard to hold such a small. And it just, these things kind of get bound up, but ultimately this one worked better than this one even did. I've got two of them now. I just purchased a second one of these to have a backup, and that way I just put it out in the shop truck. So when I need to do a PTO on the road, I'll have one. I also have them in. Let me grab that real quick too while I'm at it. Get them all out, I guess. There it is. And this is actually a Proto that I got from the Mac guy. 3/8 drive, universal 12 point. Pretty much got them all as far as 12 point and 10 millimeter. I've actually worn one of these out, and I was surprised how quickly it stripped out. Being a Proto, I was a little unhappy with it. I actually ended up getting a second one of them because he accidentally ordered one and then ordered another one. So he had it on his truck, and I was like, shoot, I'll just buy it from you. That way you don't have to send it back. They weren't particularly expensive. I want to say they were less than $20. It's been a while ago. Compared to buying a Snap-on one. And it was new. But as you can see there, the size comparison is dramatic between quarter and 3/8. I have shattered a few of these quarter drive ones too, to be honest, with the Snap-ons. But when you're trying to get into a tight place, that one works good. They just, these regular universals don't. They get bound up, so it's nice. Plus, you can't really use an impact on them. But we'll do a little comparison there too, and maybe get that other one in there just as a thought. I'm hoping this 10 millimeter will work out at least somewhat. Kind of trying to talk myself into it, since I already own them now. But as you can see, the Even this one's actually slightly smaller to the bend point. So now I got all these out. Another thing I want to talk about was the trend with this is just a regular impact wobbly, obviously, but some of the manufacturers are making solid ones like this and calling them extended, and they're all one piece, so you're not getting that slop right there. Not that there's a whole bunch, but I'm sure you lose a little more torque there. But I just don't understand why you would want to have this bulky part right here, because they look just like this, like they welded the extension on or machined it right from this without putting the square in it, basically. Obviously, this is just a Max socket and a Craftsman impact actually extension, but it was just an example. Something I was thinking about in comparison to, this or even one of those. I mean, roughly the same size as a 15. This is a 5/8. But I mean, you definitely can get this one into tighter places than you could get this one. So I'm not sure what their thinking is doing that. I mean, other than they're using a pre-existing design and just modifying that design. It just doesn't seem like it's a winner. I have used the 15 millimeter today of these, and I would rate the torque loss using it on a cordless impact, a Milwaukee stubby 3/8 drive, and I would say that the torque loss on this one, it felt roughly the same. As you can see, there's a little bit of wobble in that, as if you just used one of these regular impact wobblies, but not as much as if you had an impact wobbly with either an extension or a wobbly extension attached to it, for sure. Sorry, this video has been a little bit rambly. It's actually multiple attempts to even get this far. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Give me your thoughts on these. Is it a worthwhile investment or a complete and total waste of time? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.